Hey everyone, Ryan here. It's November 27th, 2017. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to jump in real quick because a few things. This was a big weekend. Not only was it a holiday weekend, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday going on today here in the United States at least. Um, but Bitcoin was going crazy. You can see right here, it's almost at 10,000. We are at $9,605. So, and a few things happened this weekend that I wanted to address, but also just wanted to give a quick update on everything with Bitconnect. Um, so let me first just kind of show you where I'm at. I haven't given a big much of an update lately because I think most people that are following me are fairly they they pretty much have a good understanding of what's going on in this platform. If you're on my team, Team Rhino, you're probably in my group chat, which has exploded. We have hundreds of people in there from all over the world. But let me just show you where we're at. So I started. If you're new to all this, you're seeing this video for the first time. You're new to cryptocurrencies. You're wondering what the big hype is, what's going on. You're hearing that Bitcoin's about to hit 10,000. Well, about 6.5 months ago, middle of May, I got invested into Bitconnect. Bitcoin at that time was worth about $1,200, so you can see the huge jump it's had since then. Bitconnect coin, when I started, was worth about $10, and you can see right now it's hit 300. We're just kind of going up and down right around that $300 mark. So awesome things going on there. So I started with $7,340 within the first few days. First, I did $1,400, then I added another almost $6,000 to that. So $7,340 was my initial investment. I had really a great feeling. Did a lot of research about this platform, and everything has come to. It's honestly been life changing. I've been able to leave my employer of over 13 years, which was a very big step for me. But I wouldn't have done that unless I had a just a great feeling about this. Not just a feeling, but I obviously do my homework and research and all that stuff too. But this platform is able to put me in a place financially to where I was able to leave my employer and focus only on this, which really this is a passive income for me. I really don't do a lot of work with it. I help people, I coach people that are signed up under me, and I get them to where they're able to create a team under them successfully. So a lot of great things going on. But let me just show you. So what has that $7,340 done for me? And one thing that I've done differently, you'll notice there's a lot of people promoting BitConnect, which I don't blame them because it's awesome. One thing that I've decided to do a little bit differently, though, is I only reinvest my interest payouts. I don't reinvest my commissions. And so because of that, and the reason I did that, when I first started, I didn't want this to be a platform that I had to promote it to other people in order to be successful. To me, that's not passive income, right? Passive income is something where you invest it and it just works itself, right? So that's what I wanted to do. That's why I got started with BitConnect, because that is what made it different than everything else out there. So where am I today? You can see here that my total money that I've invested and reinvested is $38,000. My active investment is $32,440, and that is because I had a capital release a couple weeks ago of $5,920. This was the second investment I made. The first investment was $1,420. My second investment a few days later was $5,920. So this is what actually matters. This means every dollar that I had the ability to, or that I had the option to either invest or reinvest. And so if you add these two numbers together, you get my total investment. I did reinvest my capital release, and so we're at $32,440 actively invested. And let me just show you. So I came to this page. I'm on page 11 of 14 because I've had a lot of transactions within the last 6.5 months. But right around this time, so the end of June, and then when July came, so I went about 1.5 months of primarily just transferring money out. I wanted to get my capital back because I was so new to the platform, right? I had a good feeling about it. I had a great feeling about it, but I still, $7,000 is a lot. I don't care who you are. It's a lot of money. Um, and so I wanted to get that money back because obviously I've got a family. I can't put us in a situation financially where we're just hurting or we're losing sleep at night, or I'm stressed, or my wife is stressed over finances. I don't want that. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for anybody. So I was transferring a lot of this money out. You can see that. You can see and this was the end of June. I'm not going to go back and show you every single day, but the end of June. But then when July hit, I realized that the money that I was bringing in was substantial, and I really wanted to start reinvesting. So you can see here, July 2nd is when I really committed to reinvesting every interest payment that I received. And so you can see $100, $70, $100. I'm still transferring money out. A lot of this is the commissions that I had earned, but from that point on, I committed, starting in July, I committed to reinvest every interest payment that I made. Because if you've seen my spreadsheet, which I will show you that's what I do on here. I show you that the minimum starting amount is $100, right? $100. You reinvest everything. So every time you build your interest up to $10, you reinvest that $10 and you build it up. This $100 turns into $110, $120, $130, $140, and so on. And over the course of we'll just say a year. We'll look at a year first. You've got that that $100 built up to $2,480. And you're earning at that point, after a year of 100% reinvestment, you're earning about $22 a day. You're continuing to reinvest every single chance that you have. And you do that for 2 years, through 730 days. That builds up to $65,000. The interest rate, and we'll look at this in a minute, but I just put in there that the average was about 0.9. We'll see what it actually is here in a second, because I have a feeling it's a little higher than that. But that's going to pay out $587 on average each day, which is going to earn you close to, if you cash that out now, stop reinvesting, you cash that out now for a year, you'll have earned $214,000 a year. So the math is all there. If you're signed up under me, you can have access to this spreadsheet. You can have access to a whole lot more resources as well. It's all on my website, bcc22.co, and I will go back to that here shortly. But what I want to show you here is that it all actually works. So, like I said, I'm going to put my number in here, 7,340. We're just going to, I know it was a little bit on day 1, a little bit more on day 3 or 4, I can't remember now. But like I said, starting in July is when I committed to this. I committed to reinvesting every single day, or all the interest that I made. And so July, beginning of July, that's July, August, September, October, and November. We're at the end of November right now. We're a few days off, not a big deal. So 5 months, that's 150 days, right? So let's see where that puts us. Starting on day 1, we're just going to scroll down here to day 150. Puts us at 27,000. So why is this a little bit less than what I showed you here, having 32,000? Well, let me show you one more thing. Let's go and look at what our average interest rates have been. So we're going to go to the volatility software. Last 30-day average, 1.01. So that's quite a bit higher than 0.9. The last 7-day average is 0.79. Okay. Last 6-month average is 0.96. I like to use this one. That is the truest number because it has the most data. It has 6 months worth of data. So 0.96. Let's plug that in and just see where it lands us. So 0.96. These numbers are going to shift a bit. So let's go back to day 150. And you can see right here, we're right above $30,000. Like I said, these are rough estimates, but they're pretty close when it comes to trying to forecast what your money can do for you. So the other thing that I don't take into account here is the bonus. So when I put in that 1,400 and then that 5,900, I actually got a bonus interest rate, which if you're not familiar with that, it's very important to know, because you can see right here with that first amount I put in, I got a bonus 0.1 every day on that loan. And then when I put in my 5,900 loan, I got an extra 0.2 on that loan. So that's why it's a little higher than 30,000. But just wanted to summarize that, because a lot of people, I really haven't shared kind of where my personal journey is. So that's where it's at. It's right on track. It's making money for me every single day. There's also commission, obviously. So that's a big piece. That's why you see a lot of money here in my lending wallet. Some of that, not a lot. Some of that is from commission as well. So, sorry, I didn't mean for that to go so long, but let me jump into what happened this weekend. So, one thing that you may have noticed, and this is kind of the biggest, the majority of the skeptics out there, they ask one question primarily, and that comes down to, okay, great, Ryan, you're making $300 a day, let's say, in interest. So what happens for 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? Let's just look at 2 years, right? So 2 years, we reinvest every single dollar that I make, and I've got this built up to $7.7 million invested. That's earning $74,000 a day, right? That's kind of crazy to think about, right? Because what if, and then this is only 2 years. So what if I go beyond that, right? So let's just plug in 7 million. So this is 2 years. Now I've got 7 million. I'm just going to take this down back to 0.9. So now a year later, so now 3 years into it, look what this does. So 3 years into this, and this is where people draw a lot of, they're like, nah, see, this isn't even possible. There's no way this can work, right? So 3 years in, if I reinvest every single dollar that I make in interest, if I continue to do that, this is going to be built up to $182 million, which pays out $1.6 million per day. That's crazy. That's insane amounts of money. And if I were to go beyond this, it just gets more and more crazy, right? So a lot of people see that and they're like, that's why this whole thing's going to fall apart. It won't work. Well, I want to address that, because what happened, there's one thing that happened this weekend that really answers all of this for us. So this is a platform that was developed by somebody, right? And with that, they're allowed to put in some safety measures. And one of those safety measures, which we saw a couple times this weekend, is what they call a circuit breaker. What that means is when the price of the coin, Bitconnect coin, because it's trading, it's lending and trading its own coin. It's not using US dollars. It's not using Bitcoin. It's trading its own coin. This coin right now is priced at $297. Over the weekend, what happened is a lot of people, or even one person, tried to sell or did sell a whole lot of this coin. They sold, and let's just use this as an example. Let's say they tried to sell $1 million worth of Bitconnect coin, because that's what this is. That's what these numbers are over here. At the end of this, again, this is our third year. We're using this as an example. We would try to get this $1.6 million, and we would have to sell $1.6 million worth of Bitconnect coin. Okay. So let me try to use a whole nother example real quick, because for me, all this coin talk just gets a little confusing. So my 13 years in my career was a lot of what I did was based on supply and demand and the price of goods and services that I for the company I worked for. And so supply and demand. So when we had a lot, when we were swimming in the goods and services, we the supply was high. We were trying to sell as much of our goods and services as we could, but we had so much of it at certain points of the year that there weren't enough buyers to allow that. So at least at the price that we had it. So what did we have to do to get the buyers and us as the sellers and the buyers to equal each other again? We had to lower our price, right? And so that's what's going on here. That's what happened this weekend. Somebody or a group of people, we could go into the transactions and see it all, but there were a large amount of sellers out there trying to sell a lot of this Bitconnect coin, and not enough buyers to equal it, which is totally fine. That's normal business. So what happened is that the price of Bitconnect actually dropped. I think it dropped close to about 20, maybe even $30. I don't remember how low it went. I know I saw it down to like I think 260 at one time. I think last night. But so that's a substantial drop. So the sellers were far outweighing the buyers at that point. So what happens to the price? The price drops. When the price drops, guess what happens? It's the great equalizer. When the price gets low, more people want to buy, right? When things go on sale, guess what happened on Black Friday? All the retailers out there drop prices on nearly everything. If you wanted to buy an Xbox, they were $300 2 weeks ago. But guess what happened on Black Friday? They went down to $200, right? Same with the PlayStation 4s. Just everything. Drones were on sale. All my kids want drones. The price on drones, you could find them for half price almost everywhere. So what happens? All of a sudden, the amount of buyers goes way up, right? Same thing here. The price of Bitconnect drops, and the amount of buyers goes way up, and it equalizes itself. And so what Bitconnect has done is they put a circuit breaker into their platform saying that if the price of Bitcoin or Bitconnect either drops or shoots up, and I don't have the percentage here, but a certain percentage, they're going to put in this circuit breaker, and it's going to shut down the selling of Bitconnect for 2 hours, right? So what happens during that 2 hours? The price has dropped, and now the only exchanges that can be made are with Bitcoin. You can now buy Bitconnect coins. And so now the buyers all of a sudden are outweighing the sellers, which then pushes the price of Bitconnect right back up to where it should be. And I don't know about anybody else, but I watched it climb all the way back up to nearly $300 within about an hour last night. So that's what's going on. And I know, that if you're new to Bitconnect, you could probably care less about that because you just want to get in. You want to buy you want to get some Bitcoin. You want to buy some Bitconnect coin. You want to put out a loan and follow what I've shown you on this spreadsheet with whatever amount that is, right? So that answers the question. So what happens now? I'm gonna kind of circle back around and address the skeptics out there that say it's going to be impossible for all these people to cash out millions of dollars every single day. So you're right. That will be impossible. The economy that we live in, it would have to also change with it. So the amount of buyers, when somebody tries to sell millions of dollars of Bitconnect, the amount of buyers is going to have to equal that. And if it can't equal that, you've probably all seen it if you've done this before. You try to sell Bitconnect coin, it doesn't sell instantly. You've got to have buyers in place, and you can see all this on the exchange. You've got to have enough buyers in place to equalize it, right? You've got buying orders and you've got selling orders. And as long as there's buyers, as long as there's sellers and buyers, then everything will be just fine. So if I all of a sudden want to sell $1 million worth of Bitconnect, well, I'm going to have to find an equal amount of buyers wanting to buy $1 million worth of Bitconnect, or else it's just not going to go through. Or they're going to be able to sell me, or I'm going to be able to sell maybe 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 based on the buyers that are out there. But at some point, it's going to stop, right? And at some point, I'm not going to. And so, because of that, it doesn't mean the system is flawed in any way, but it does require there to be an equilibrium between buyers and sellers, right? And as long as the BitConnect platform is controlling their coin, it's going to continue to work. So, I'm not the genius that came. I'm not a genius, first off, but I'm definitely not the genius that came up with all this, because it is genius the way that it all works. Especially, we've seen lending programs out there, but we've never seen one that uses its own coin like BitConnect does. There's also the staking side of it, which is a whole nother ball game. So I just wanted to address that, because that is something that happened this weekend that a lot of people were kind of worried about. It wouldn't even allow you to transfer money to a BitConnect wallet because it had that circuit breaker in place. But again, that is good. That's happened before. This wasn't the first time it's happened. It's happened a handful of times, at least since I've gotten started with it back in May. So it's all good things, right? But it does answer the question, what happens when everybody's built this up so high? One thing, I was actually listening to Jedi Knight this morning. Great YouTube channel, great guy as well. But he was pulling out. He's like, in the United States, the average annual income, 40 hours a week, is about $45,000 a year, right? So imagine this is you. Imagine you put in $10,000 to start, and you just think, I'm going to reinvest every single dollar that I make for 2 straight years, because at the end of 2 straight years, I'm going to be bringing in $61,000 a day, right? That's crazy. But there's a human nature, there's a human element to all of this that a lot of people don't like to bring up, but it's true. We are humans, we are not robots, okay? I guarantee you, when that average American that's making $45,000 a year invests $10,000, let's say, and let's just say after 1 year, they find $2,000, over $2,000 in their BitConnect account every single day, and they're working their job that pays them $45,000 a year. You're telling me that they're going to have the I can't think of the word, the diligence, not confidence, but they're going to have the ability to reinvest this money and not cash it out? Like, I mean, good for them if they're able to just reinvest this day after day after day. But if the average American is doing this, they're probably going to cash some of this money out. So it's not going to flow the way that you think if you're just a robot doing this, right? And there's some variables there. There's some human variables to there that we just can't necessarily wrap our minds all the way around, because we are all different, right? We are all completely different. I am totally different than my wife when it comes to money. I'm totally different than my brothers when it comes to money. I'm totally different than my mom and my dad when it comes to money. We're all different. So there's no way to say that, oh, this is going to happen and everybody's going to be in the same boat and this platform's not going to be able to pay out. So, let's just, I will say this as well, that nothing's going to last forever, I mean, it's not. This is a great platform and it's set up very, very well. And I think it's a great thing to get invested in. If you're wanting to get started with cryptocurrencies, this is a great way to start, because it's easy. There's not, as far as earning an interest, that's something we understand. We've been taught interest, since we could get our first job or buy our first car. We've learned about those things. And so it makes sense to us to make an investment and to earn an interest rate, right? That all makes sense. So if you are new to this, I'm gonna just finish up with this because I know these videos can get kind of long and sometimes people don't want to keep watching. But I'm gonna um, recommend that you go to my website bcc22.co and take this course. It's a cryptocurrency certification course, and it really does a good job of breaking all this stuff down. If you want to get started in investing, I wouldn't do anything before taking this course. This course isn't going to force you to do anything, but it's going to open your eyes to what all happens because there's a lot of things that you might not be familiar with. Buying currency on an exchange, you might not be familiar with that. Having a digital wallet, that was new to me. I had to get my own wallet. A lot of different things there, and Bitcoin. How do you buy Bitcoin? How do you sell Bitcoin? How do you trade Bitcoin? How do you invest in some of these other currencies that are out there besides Bitcoin, besides Bitconnect coin? Taking this certification course will be able to educate you on that. I'm going to the blockchain expo this week, and super excited about that because guess what? I get to learn. I get to learn more about this, about blockchain. Blockchain isn't just with cryptocurrencies. I think it all started with Bitcoin. It's kind of the basis, and it was needed for Bitcoin to prosper. But so many more industries out there are starting to use blockchain technology. So I'm excited to learn more and more about that this week. If you're there, maybe we'll run into each other and meet, and I'd love to hear your success stories as well. So other thing real quick, I've got my drawing going on. Go to Team Resources, access everything here, and you can see here there's 4 days left, giving away 2 Bitconnect tokens, so about $300 each. We're going to have 2 winners, so make sure you get signed up. You've got to have an active loan, and you got to be somewhere in my downline. If you're not signed up for Bitconnect, my referral is going to be in the description of this video. It's also on my website here. If you go to that homepage, real easy to find that as well. So that is about it. This is a little longer than normal, but you can sign up here if you want to join my Bitconnect team, or the link in the description. So if you want to hear more about this, follow me on my journey. Here's my video. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're not, please do that because I got contests going. And if you want to earn some extra money, you're not going to know about my contest unless you're subscribed to my channel and your notifications are on. So hope everybody's having a great day. If you're going to the blockchain deal, I will see you there. And I hope that I wish you all the best. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.